time to visit my channel, Past, Present, and Future Gnosis. It's your host, Gnosis, man, and I'm good to be back. And before I begin, I want to say, please watch my last prior video, why you need to read Herodotus' stories to understand the Greek and Egyptian connection. I did a total dive in how the Greeks had I did a big dive about how the Egyptians influenced the Greeks and how they went through their rituals, their eating habits. But I would want you to watch it first. But yeah, make sure you watch that out. But yeah, so let's get straight into this video. So now, when it comes to the Bible and astronomy, and if you've been watching my channel, these two don't go hand in hand. At least you talk to the normal Christian or Catholic and you talk to them about, is there any astronomy in the Bible? They'll totally blow you off. They'll say that, no, there's no correlation to this any at all. There's no verse at all. And then that's where I have to step in and be like, well, if you really read it and took your time and not just skimmed over some stuff, you would actually see that the Bible actually talks about astrology and about the zodiacs. And you look at me weird and you're like, nah, this is not. And I can see some of the Bible historians right now lifting an eyebrow like, huh? For a long time, people that read the Bible, and this is news to them, but I'm promising you this. Once I show you these verses, it'll be a shadow of doubt that the Bible not only shows it, but promotes it also. So without a shadow or a doubt, let's get straight into this and use the Bible in its whole totality and all. So remember, you can all do this research too. I'm going to be pulling it up, so we'll be seeing it in real time. So without a shadow of doubt, let's get into this right now and see if there's anything to commemorate what I'm saying. So, but before I begin, the big one I want to say is Deuteronomy 17:2-3. We have to start there. And as it says here, if there is a found among you within any of your towns that the Lord your God is giving you, a man or woman who does what is evil in the sight of the Lord your God, in transgressing his covenant, and has gone and served other gods and worshiped them, or the sun, or the moon, or any of the host of heaven, which I have forbidden. So I just want to start off the context and showing you that here in Play Daylight, it shows that he condemns all of this. This is all forbidden. So you could just say the case is done. But hold on. Give me some time, man. Let me flesh this out, man. But I wanted to show you that it does say here that it's forbidden. But let's go to some verses that contradict what he's saying. So let's start off. And where else to start off is right in the beginning in Genesis, as I'll show you here. This 1:14 that I have it highlighted here and using Bible Gateway, as you see on the top, so there's no misconstruction from anybody. And God said, let there be light in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years, and let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth. And it was so. God made two great lights, and great light to govern the day, and the lesser lights to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set them in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good, and there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day. So this is just a small example, but showing you that God created the stars in the heavens also. So it's going to get a little bit deeper, but I just want to flush this out and just show you the beginning of it. So now let's go to another verse where it gets really good, people. Remember, you all can look this up yourself. This is Bible Hub. Job 9, verse 9. That's kind of interesting, but hey. And this is where Job was talking with God. So let's start here. He is the maker of the Bear and Orion, of the Pleiades, and the constellations of the south. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, look up. This is Job 9, verse 9, where he's talking to God. So we could bring up the whole verse too, so you can read it yourself. But I'm going to show you it right here, where it says, verse 4, God is wise in heart and mighty in strength. Who has resisted him is prospered. He moves mountains without the knowledge and turns them in his anger. He shakes the earth from its place so that its foundations tremble. He commands the sun not to shine. He seals off the stars. He alone stretches out the heavens and treads on the waves of the sea. He is the maker of the Bear and Orion, of the Pleiades and the constellations of the south. Clearly, this is showing you, written down, that they jotted the constellations and actually named them, ladies and gentlemen. And that commemorates to our modern day astronomy, where we have the Bear constellation, Ursa Minor. I mean, in Orion, Orion's belt. Clearly, this is astronomy. Straight in the Bible on Job 9, verse 9. So, and it just keeps deeper, ladies and gentlemen. I told you, I give you the receipts, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's go to this next verse because it only gets deeper from here. So, let's continue here. So, you see here, Job 38, verse 32. And we're going to read it right here. Canst thou bring forth Mazareth in his season? Or canst thou guide Arcturus with his son? Now, what word I want you to focus on right here is that word Mazareth, because we're going to see what this word really means. And where else we're going to find it? We're going to use this website, Bible Hub, to give us a clear explanation on what Mazareth really means, as you'll see here. Bible Hub, Mazareth, the 12 signs of the zodiac. Wait, what? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as you're seeing right here, the definition of Bible Hub is the 12 signs of the zodiac. East and underneath it, Easton's Bible Dictionary. Prognostics found only Job 38:32, probably meaning the 12 signs of the zodiac, as the margin comp 2 Kings 23:5. I mean, and underneath that, ladies and gentlemen, the International Standard Bible Encyclopedia, Mazareth, the 12 constellations of the zodiac. So let's go back to that verse. So Job 38:32. Canst thou bring it forth the 12 zodiacs, Mazareth, aka the 12 zodiacs, in his season? Or canst thou guide Arcturus with his sons? And again, another word we should all look into closely for all my astronomers out there. This is for you guys. I did it for you all. What is Arcturus? And as you'll see what Arcturus is, as I'll show you here. Arcturus is a red giant star in the northern hemisphere of Earth's sky and the brightest star in the constellation Bootes, the herdsman. Sound familiar? Arcturus is also among the brightest stars that can be seen from Earth. Astronomers say Arcturus will end up as a white dwarf at the end of its life. The name Arcturus comes from the Greek meaning keeper or guardian of the bear. which refers to its position adjacent to the tail of the constellation Ursa Major, the Great Bear, the same bear that we mentioned earlier, also to bear in mind. No pun intended. But I'll continue. I mean, like, come on, ladies and gentlemen. And this is strictly in the Bible, promoting it all, them documenting it all, and naming all these constellations. And a lot of you right now have no idea that this was all in here. This is why you have to really read the Bible and take your time and make these connections and use a little bit critical thinking. That's the biggest thing. If you've been watching my channel, that I promote so much, ladies and gentlemen. This is me just finding it out, reading it, because this blows my mind. Because all what I've been growing up is saying that astronomy is not in there, does not promote it or any of it. And remember, Deuteronomy, I just showed you, this is forbidden, but yet it's in the Bible, promoting it, and they're giving them constellation names. Ursa Minor, the bear, Orion, Achilles was like I just showed you. But now, if you've been watching this far and you're still just like, okay, you showed me some things, because this is the part where no one's talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I've heard nobody make this correlation that I'm about to show you. And this is to the worship of a planet, actually. So, without further ado, for any who waited for this part, I commend you, because either you were really interested in this and just found all the information I showed you really eye-opening, so you just, let me keep going. I commend you, because this part right here will blow your mind after I've shown you this connection. So let's continue. Again, straight from the Bible. You can all look this up. Take the time to look yourself and just do the research. So without further ado, let's just keep going, because this is where it gets crazy. This part blew my mind. As I'll show you here. Hub, Acts 7, verse 43. Ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch, and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon. Now, what's really interesting is, who was the star of your god Remphan? There is the key words that you need to understand and look up. And I don't think anybody passed by this. You just saw that name and it just kept going. But let's see the definition that Bible Hub gives for Remphan. And if once you see this word, ladies and gentlemen, there's no shadow of a doubt that there is astronomy, and you can actually say now astrology, which I made prior videos too, but in the Bible, and I'll show you right here. Bible Hub, Remphan, usage, the Saturn of later mythology. Ladies and gentlemen, like I've just said, let's go back to that verse, but what you're seeing here is the definition from Remphan of Bible Hub. Let's go back to that verse. You took up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star. Remember now, and the star of your god. Let's switch Remphan with Saturn. Of your god, Saturn. Figures which ye made to worship them, and now will carry you away beyond Babylon. And that star of your god is clearly Remphan, aka the Saturn of later mythology. I mean, like, bam, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm barely over 15 minutes into this video, and I've just been giving you quote after quote after quote strictly in the Bible, showing you astronomy and now confirming without a shadow of the doubt astrology that is supposed to be forbade. Remember, Deuteronomy, it was supposed to be forbade, but clearly it is in the Bible. I mean, like, come on. There, I mean, like, what can you say? I mean, like, where's all the pastors talking about this? Where's all the Bible scholars, man? Where's the historians at? I got the books. I got the books, but I've never heard anybody put it in together like this. I mean, like, and just bam, deliver it. There's no debate after what I just showed you. Look, Rephion, the Saturn of later mythology, right there in the Bible. This isn't me writing down some textbook and then giving it to the masses. No, ladies and gentlemen. It's the word of God, remember? In the Bible. It's here. It's there. I mean, we got it. But no one's talking about this, though. It's the same. And everybody's saying that there's codes. Yes, there is codes. You just need to learn how to decipher these codes. And now I know most folks be like, "Oh, he's talking so highly now." Like, you know what? No, this is just research, ladies and gentlemen. Clear research that we all can do. You can do yourselves. You can all look this up right now. You can press pause. I challenge anybody, actually. Press pause, watch, look all this up. You don't have to use Bible Hub. There's other platforms, Bible places, and they will show you. Look the definitions up. You have to do etymology, ladies and gentlemen, and more critical thinking. But canst thou bind the sweet influence of Pleiades or loose the bands of Orion? Again, ladies and gentlemen, how many people have seen this verse and took the time to just sit back and say, what are they talking about? Clearly, Pleiades, another star system constellation that is in the heavens. And of course, we've talked about it before. The Orion's belt. I mean, how many people are really even talking about this or bringing it to the forefront? I mean, it is just here, clear as day to anybody who has eyes to see, that is, and ears to hear. You can catch that on the way home, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, I just want to show you that all this is here, and this is just a couple of verses that I'm giving to you. There's numerous verses that you could probably even Google that you can even find yourself showing you all this. But let's continue off from here. You may say, okay, you found all this. Why aren't some people talking about it? And I actually would say against you, there actually is a person that are talking about it, but I want to bring him to the forefront, and I actually got 2 books from him, so I wanted to bring these 2 books up here now. Real time. I mean, I ain't no big scholar, ladies and gentlemen. I got the books here, and I'm finding all this out. But I want to give a shout out to Jordan Maxwell. And I want to say rest in peace, actually, because he died recently, and I'll put up a picture of him and showing you too. But these 2 books that I want to promote so much, that Old Time Religion, the Story of Religion's Foundations by Jordan Maxwell. Great foundation, ladies and gentlemen. Great foundation. I might do a video more about this book if you guys want me to. Let me know down in the comments. And another book I want to promote from him, who he collaborated with other scholars too, and it's called Symbol, Sex, and the Stars. This is the book right here. Publisher is Ernest Busenbark, but here's a cover so you all can grab it. I mean, they go in on different stuff about lunar worship, sun worship back in the day. But anywho, I want to give a snippet upon Jordan Maxwell talking about his findings also to show you that this has been studied, and other scholars that you may not have heard of have been doing the research also. And you just have to find them. But yeah, I'll show you here.
And not being swayed by religious conviction, but let's look at the actual Old Testament in the language that it was written in. And we're going to find that the Old Testament, like the New Testament, is nothing more than the entire story of the zodiac. We have seen the New Testament is nothing more than astrology and sun worship. Now we see that the Old Testament is going to be nothing more than astrology. And one of the most important points that we want to bring out, one interesting point that we might bring out, is that the Hebrews, when they were in Egypt, were of course subject to the religion of Egypt. And at that time, Isis, spell I-S-I-S, Isis, the female personification of wisdom, from whence of course we get Mary in the Catholic Church, the Mother of God. Isis was the female personification of wisdom, spelled, as I said, I-S-I-S. Later on, with the coming of Pharaoh Akhenaten, Pharaoh Akhenaten changed the worship in Egypt from Isis to Amun-Ra, or Amun-Ra. Of course, this is where we get the term Ra, R-A, or R-A-Y, for sun ray. So Amun-Ra became the chief deity of Egypt. Now, once the Hebrews left out of Egypt and went north into Palestine, they found a new god there of the Canaanites, a god that is referred to as the Ugaritic god of the Middle East. That god was El, or the planet Saturn. The Hebrews then picked up the worship of the planet Saturn, or El, the Ugaritic god, and combining the Isis worship with the Amun-Ra worship, and lastly with the El, Saturn, or the god El, they formulate their new land based on the three concepts of God: Isis, Ra, El, or Israel, I-S-R-A-E-L.
Mr. Michael Chandler.
Solomon, wise King Solomon, is the sun in three languages. Sol,
Sun.
Spanish, sun. The Eastern religions, Om, they chant Om for the sun, and On is Egyptian for the sun. Jonah is an example of the sun going through the equinox. However, in this particular case, Jonah is Semitic for the sun, and Jonah is living inside the fish, inside the whale for 3 days, which means the sun is at the winter solstice in the bellies, in the bowels of the earth at the winter solstice, and dying for 3 days. Now, Samson, the adventures of Samson is equated to the adventures of Hercules. Samson was a solar myth. He had 12 unusual exploits or adventures around the zodiac. His strength was in his hair, because in his hair were the sun's rays. When Delilah cut off his hair, in actuality, his rays were cut off.
In the Old Testament, we are told that Moses comes down from the mountain after receiving the...
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, I mean just wow. After hearing all of that, there shouldn't be any shadow of a doubt that the Bible is full of astronomy and astrology, and that it is flooded with it. But most people don't know this or take the time to read it. You're having other people read it for it. You need to sit down and read it yourself and be a critical thinker when it comes to this. Because all of this is there, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I'm telling you, I ain't no Harvard University student, anything like that. No, I'm just a man really really interested about history, different cultures, and I just want to know the truth. And honestly, I'm just obsessed. I mean, like there's just something in me that just says that I'm just like, why? Why this? Why rewrite this? Catch that on the way home. Why was the Bible rewritten this many times? Why was it in Greek first and then translated into Hebrew, and that all the Greeks were using and the Hebrews were using the Greek Septuagint, which I made a video about earlier. And it just blows my mind because why? 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 And then once you just do the research yourself and you just connect A to B, it's just like, wow. It's like you just take a step back and you're just like, wow, this is crazy. Wow. And like, it's just like when you find it yourself too, ladies and gentlemen, because I've been doing this for a little bit now, even before making videos, I've been doing this research. And I'm just like, this is crazy. And I had to get this information out once I accumulated a lot more knowledge so I can better critique myself with you all. But this is crazy. It goes against everything. So there is promotion of this in the Bible. After showing you all of this evidence that I have compiled up, I hope now that you understand that it is not to be afraid of the stars, astronomy, astrology. It's actually to be more understanding for it. So I'll be doing probably a part 2 of this, but there's nothing to be afraid of, ladies and gentlemen. It's just finding these little codes and cracks to see how to push forward about it and actually be more in tune to it. But I'll save that for another day. But anyway, I thank you all for taking the time to watching this video. And I hope to see you all. Please, let's get in the comment section. Let's talk about this. Did anybody know about this? Did any of you Bible readers, Christians, Catholics, did you know about all these verses pertaining to the zodiac and it being to the Bible? I'm talking about the constellation of the Bear, Ursa Minor, Orion, and even Remphian, aka Saturn. I mean, like, I can go further with that part, but I'm saving that for next videos because there's something about Remphian. But and keep that to myself. But anyway, thank you all for taking the time to watching this video, and I catch you all in the next one. Peace.